Delanco Township Committee Meeting of December 4th, 2023, beginning at 7 p.m. at the Delanco Township Municipal Building, 770 Coopertown Road, Delanco, New Jersey.
Oh, wait. Are we recording, Janice?
We are recording, Mayor.
Oh, great. Thank you. So welcome to the December 4th, 2023 Township Committee Meeting. I apologize that we are starting late. Roll call, please, Janice.
Mr. Bartlett.
Here.
Mr. Olet.
Here.
Ms. Seuss. Here. Mr. Templeton. Here. Mrs. Patrick.
Here. Also present, Mr. Schwab, our Township Administrator, Mr. Fox, our Township Engineer, Mr. Heinhold, our Township Solicitor, Mrs. Lohr, our Municipal Clerk, Mr. Fenimore, our Superintendent of Public Works, Mr. Tilger, our Police Chief, and Ms. McFadden, our Administrative Assistant. Please join me in the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we start our meeting, I would like to have a moment of silence in memory of Anna Miller. Anna Miller moved to Delanco when she was 3 years old. She was very involved in a number of things, and she passed away at the age of 103. I had the honor and privilege of attending her 100th birthday celebration, and she was just an incredible woman. So let's have a moment of silence in memory of Anne. Thank you. Okay. The first item on the agenda is for the year 2024 Community Development Block Grant. Oh, wait a minute.
Through the sunshine.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed it, Janice.
Okay.
We did it in the other meeting, but you can do it again.
Sure. Let's get that on the record.
Yes.
So please be, please be advised that proper notice of this meeting has been given in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act in the following manner. Written notice has been mailed to the Burlington County Times and the Courier Post and published in the January 4th, 2023 editions. And written notice has been posted on the official bulletin board of the Township of Delanco at least 48 hours prior to the meeting.
Thank you, Janice. Okay, moving on to year 2024 Community Development Block Grant application, and this is the public hearing. So the hearing is open to the public for the year 2023 Community Development Block Grant application.
Mayor, would you like to explain what that is?
Yes, that would be good, Harry.
The HUD did not federal funding to the Community Development Block Grant program, which is run by Burlington County. Those funds can be used for low-income areas, seniors areas, as well as anything to do with handicap accessibility. So what we have applied for in the past, last year we received $50,000 to replace handicap ramps throughout town. We're doing the same thing for this coming fiscal year. And we can get about, the amount of money they give us, we get about 10 ramps completed with that. So between last year and this year, we'll have 20 new handicap ramps.
So this actually should say that this is hearing open to the public for the year 2024.
Correct.
Community Development. Okay, thank you. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, I'll close this portion of the meeting to the public and move on to Resolution 2023-134. Resolution authorizing the application for a grant from Community Development Fund.
So moved. Second?
Roll call, please.
Mr. Bartlett.
Yes.
Mr. Olet.
Yes for the 2024 Community Development Block Grant application.
Yes.
Ms. Seuss.
Yes.
Mr. Templeton.
Yes.
Ms. Fitzpatrick.
Yes. Okay, meeting is open to the public. This is session 1.
Ray? Nothing?
Oh, okay.
sure?
I have,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So I'll close this portion of the meeting to the public, but since Ray didn't get up, I have some comments to make. I took a ride out to Newton's Landing today to see, rode through the entire development, and the trees have been trimmed. The entire development looks really good. And it looks pretty good to me. I mean, it looks like they're above where they should be. Well, if you have specific addresses, maybe that would be a good idea. You gave them to John? Okay, because I just rode, I didn't get out of the car. Okay. And the other area that I looked at today was the shade tree project for the sidewalk replacements that they did. And they did one out at Newton's Landing at 99 Ships. And they did these pavers over. And so I went to 99 Ships, 603 Union, Poplar, and Franklin. And they look really nice, what they did. Paradise did them. So that's a nice project that Shade Tree worked on.
99 ships? It's tripping at it right now. There's one end is up next to 90, on the side of 97. It's about an inch up.
With the new,
The lots are up from the old sidewalk to the new pavers. It's up about an inch.
so I wonder if,
That'll be taken care of. They gotta come back and they gotta put the, stuff between the blocks. And,
yeah, there's a strip that goes
When they go
in
to
there.
put it tampered down, they should, I saw that.
Okay.
It was raining the day they did them. I wonder if they
And
didn't get a chance to
he
complete
said
it.
the tamping should bring it down.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, so now we'll move on to reports, professionals. Okay. Harry, I guess we'll let you go first.
Thank you, Mayor. I've got a few items to go over. On the private developments, the crossings in Delanco, they have started on their punch list for concrete work. They have most of it excavated out. They're pouring, as a tentatively, the weather permitting, they're going to be pouring on Wednesday, the concrete for those punch list items. I'm also going to be meeting representatives from DR Horton this week to do another walkthrough. It's been so long since on last punch list to make sure that there isn't anything more that they have to do concrete wise.
Okay.
We are working with them on paperwork that they need to complete, to get it to us, as-built plans and things like that. So they are working on it. They reviewed the engineer's report that the homeowners association provided, and I'm in agreement with that report. There's nothing, major disagreements on that. A lot of landscaping, which they have been addressing, and Keller Design is inspecting the landscaping. So they tell me that they are working on landscaping, but I haven't confirmed that. So they're trying to get off the bottom, so they are working out there, but
Because there's a lot on landscaping yet.
there is a lot.
They did some, but they're not complete.
Yeah, okay.
That's probably still going to be a big holdup, as in most of our developments, is the landscaping, is to get it established this time of the year, and things like that, but that's where we stand. We're still, they are out there working and trying to complete it.
Good.
Dolan, next door, they have requested, if you recall last year, we released the performance bond and picked up a maintenance bond, but we held the performance bond for the landscaping items.
Right, this year, we did.
For this year, right. So there's still a performance bond for landscaping. They requested from Scott Taylor to release that bond, and basically as a good faith that they will come back and restore the grass in the spring. Scott and I discussed it, and Richard and I had a little discussion on it, and I wouldn't recommend releasing the performance bond. We've already done them enough favors.
Oh, yeah, we wouldn't
throughout
do
the
it.
project. I understand that their maintenance company is now owns the property. So, I don't think anyone's gonna come about it, but if it does, it's certainly my recommendation not to release the loan well.
Okay, good. Ours too.
That was the whole reason we did it.
Right,
Yeah, they don't own the
exactly.
property anymore, what's the,
Yeah,
can't hold their feet to the fire.
right.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, apparently there's some place with language in their contract that says they have to go for loan bonds before it can be settled. But that's not getting a problem.
Right.
Well, I thought that was the whole purpose of us doing that additional bond, releasing the other bond so they could settle. So we've already tried to,
That's correct.
And they did sell already, so.
yeah, they
that's-
did sell, so,
Yeah.
it's not our problem.
Agreed. So if you hear anything about that, it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's not going anywhere.
Okay.
The 2023 road program, which is the local aid, the DOT local aid, and the township money, that contract, as you know, was awarded to Earl Paving. We had the pre-construction meeting, and they are going to start concrete work this Wednesday. Their plan is to start on 3rd Street, and then there'll be about 2 days there, and then we will spend more to do the concrete work. Concrete work is handicap ramps, and some little bit of curve. There's not a lot of concrete work. That's expected to be done starting on Wednesday. They have a paving scheduled for the 14th, December 14th. It'll only take them, they're only planning 2 days, which they're capable of doing that as long as they have enough trucks available to haul the asphalt. They'll come in the middle of one day, and then the next day they'll come in paving, so close.
Good.
So that should be done by the permitting by December 15th. The Hickory Street and Poplar Street storm sewer, they wrapped up today doing root cutting. We did, if you recall, we had to adjust a couple manholes so they could fit their equipment down there. We had that done last week. And just, they came in today and started jetting and root cutting. They started on the high end, which is Cooper Street, and they're working down towards Poplar. One tree that I'm concerned about, just the spruce tree, the roots weren't so bad on that. There were roots there, but they cut those out. They did indicate that there's a substantial crack in the pipe. It's terracotta pipe, steel pipe. I did not see the video yet, so I can't analyze it, but when it says the video, I can take a look at it, but there is a possibility that there's some damaged pipe in that. Basically the block between Spruce and Walnut Street.
Is that a main? Is that a big pipe?
It is, yeah, it's a 30-inch pipe.
Great.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
once we get it cleaned out in video, then I'll be able to put more of that.
Okay.
They are scheduled to be out there 3 days. They may get done tomorrow, but if not, they'll be back the following day, Wednesday. And we'll know at that point, we'll know tomorrow about the roots down by the park. They'll be down there cutting those roots tomorrow. And then once we get it all done, we get a good video, and then come up with a plan on how we'll address the system.
Okay.
The Town Hall, Field of Dreams, and Iowa project, we had a pre-construction meeting with that as well. That project was awarded to Logan Trucking and Paving. They're looking at coming in, their anticipated date is the 18th, December 18th. They may be here sooner, they're working on another job, and if weather cooperates on that, they may be here sooner, but sooner than later than the 18th.
So I thought the sign said the 11th. I thought I got something that said the 11th for the parking lot.
It may be that we do that just to be safe.
Oh, for our parking lot, the
Yes,
municipal.
and that's the key part of the discussion is, Virginia is not a problem, and Iowa, we can work around that. Here, we're gonna mill and pave it, in probably 2 days, so mill one day and pave it the next. Doing that.
Just talk about just the front, just the front.
Just the front,
Yeah,
yeah.
just the front.
But I thought my date said the 11th, but maybe
That's not official yet. We'll know
okay,
the
in the
early,
next couple of days
All
how
right.
their schedule is.
Okay.
And then I will send out an email telling you the official start date. Like I said, they're working on another job trying to get that done, and they're coming here right after that.
Make sure Adam gets that email too on the date.
Yeah, we're keeping in touch.
Okay.
We put the sign say on or about the 11th. just to
Okay.
give a heads
All right,
up.
good.
Yep.
Okay.
Because it's possible it could start in 11th if everything goes right, but nothing ever goes right.
Thinking positive.
So yeah, so everyone knows it's just a front parking lot.
Okay, great.
So the employees really don't get that back and we work out an idea for that. However, the public, we're asking them to park out on the shoulder. We can't close down the police station, that's the big thing. Town hall, we can work around, but the police has to have 24-hour access.
Right.
So we are working around that and there's all sign out there, so.
Yeah, I think what it means it's possible while they're doing it, that we may have to close the municipal building to the public, because we don't want them walking, while they're walking
Yeah.
across work zone, whereas the police, if there's an emergency, someone's gotta come in, they'll deal with that, but, so we may have the employees and get in through Public Works, but, so we may not be open to the public for either 1 or 2 days, trying to do it on a Friday when it's half day anyhow, so it may have to happen that way.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's possible to try to do it on Friday and take it on Saturday,
Right,
but
that would be the best.
that involves overtime and so I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Okay.
And we will notify all the residents on Iowa as well, as soon as we know a firm date. The CDBG grant, we talked about that a little bit earlier. That's what $1,200. That work is not going to get done until the spring when the weather's related to concrete work.
Okay.
Because it's pretty substantial.
Right.
And we don't want to get caught excavating and running into bad weather. So that will actually kind of tie in with, like I said, the new grant, the new CDBG grant. If we receive that, we can kind of do 2 projects together and maybe get a better place in our new house. But, so that's the schedule and then it goes spring. The Ash Street HDSRF grant, we applied for the cleanup of 200 Ash Street. We haven't heard from them yet. I checked with our office, the person, and Sean Bauer, our tape, and he's going to contact them this week and find out if we know anything on that anytime soon. But we still haven't heard anything on that.
That gets a two-step review process. DEP looks at it and EDA looks at it.
Correct. Yeah.
They don't look at it concurrently.
No, that would be too efficient. So yes, there is a 2-step process. The MS4 stormwater permit, we had inspection by DEP, and St. Paul. We did address their comments and submitted that back to them for that inspection part of it. In the meantime, we still are working on the storm prevention plan, the update. This one was done, I heard so 20 years ago, I guess.
Amazed. Yeah.
So we are working on that. That's the main part of the plan. After that, I'll sit down with John, and we have other things that we're going to have to start doing in the new year. For instance, inspecting basins, inlets, things like that. And I provided a proposal a few months ago that had all those items outlined, questions for those items. So you can kind of pick and choose. Like if John wants to do something, he can do it. Or if you want us to do it, we already have a price for it. So
Okay.
we're working on that. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Harry?
Yeah, I have a question regarding the tree grant and the trees that were planted. There's several dead bushes and arborvitae that are dead throughout town. But I think it's a DEP grant, right? Who's responsible for coming to pick them up and getting rid of them? Because it looks terrible to have all those dead bushes.
That was that last tree planting
That was
Program,
through,
that's
yeah,
from Scott.
that was through Scott Taylor.
Okay.
And I think that the contractor is going to be responsible.
Yeah,
to do
so
that.
how can we notify him to come, at least dig them up and get rid
We're
of them
gonna
now?
wait till the spring.
To get rid of them?
Well, they'll
No,
probably take them out and replant
To
them.
make sure that they're dead, that's what I heard.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're dead.
They're dead.
There's
but-
no questioning.
I counted them.
Yeah.
Did you count them? How many?
Out there, I think it was like 15.
Out of the Field of Dreams?
And then it looks like, up at the Paca Park, a lot of them are dead, they're dying. So
Yeah,
you
at
won't
Gateway
really
Park.
see it until the spring comes back.
Gateway Park, and then
Yeah, but
the,
I think it was Steve told us that.
and the arborvitae, there's like Babe Ruth and the new park.
Yep.
Just about all of them are dead, and that Rancocas too, the 414 Rancocas,
Yep.
460.
Yeah, it looks crappy. They need to be dug up and they can be replaced in the spring, but for now, we just need to get rid of them. They're sad.
I don't think they'll do them, they'll probably dig them up and replace at the same time, is that, I'll have to ask Scott.
Typically, yeah, unless it's a safety issue, but.
Yeah.
I mean, if it fell over or something like that, yeah.
I'll
I mean,
email
that's-
Scott.
You like call Scott?
Yeah, unless you want to do it, I mean, I can just email him and say, what are we gonna do, the
I
trees.
think Steve's the one that got it.
Steve Lennon, yeah, Steve Lennon, he's in charge of it, yeah. I'll email him.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay, anybody else have any questions for Harry? Okay, all right, Doug, you're up.
Not really much to report tonight. We did speak in executive session about a couple of pending litigation matters. I will just say for the public, anybody following the warehouse litigation, we instituted an I-3 zone to prevent additional warehouses from being constructed in town. And we are in litigation over that zoning. We are in a settlement process that was started at the last meeting, is going to the planning board tomorrow night. We'll be back before us on December 18th. And essentially, the property owners that are the plaintiffs in that litigation, their views and ideas as to what was of concern to them don't trigger the same concerns that we were trying to prevent in instituting the warehouse bar, for lack of a better term. So we're trying to work on finding common ground and allow them to be satisfied to a point where they'll withdraw their litigation, and then the overall warehouse I-3 zone that prevents warehousing would remain intact. So again, that's before the board tomorrow night, and we'll be back before us on December 18th.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you.
Let's see, Richard.
Just report that most everyone has their 2024 budget proposals in. I'll remind a couple people who are still working on it. I'm still advise you of negotiating with our animal control people for the next year's contract. Remember, we changed it from a fixed amount to a smaller fixed amount and a fee for service. I'm trying to make it even a smaller fixed amount with even a larger fee for service because the amount of activity is very low, and hopefully we'll save a few dollars that way. We're also finalizing the Field of Dreams maintenance specs to go out to bids, as we do every year in December, and in January we award them. So Steve Lennon and I have been working on that, so I should have that done soon. We got the personnel policy approved, submitted. We had to do some back and forth with them. We finally got marked as compliant so that our deductibles and co-pays are much lower. Now the next thing is we have to do all this training. So all the new stuff, we have to do a lot of information to get out to everybody. So I'll be spending a lot of time working on training with Aaron, try to get everybody to know what's going on, to comply with all those rules. And the salary resolution and the second reading of the ordinance for the changes as of January will be on your December 18th agenda. That's what I have. That's what I'm working on.
Okay, great. Department heads. Chief.
Good evening, thank you. For the month of November, our final statistics are...
Yeah, go to the microphone a little closer.
The final statistics for November, They initiated 15 police cases. There were 184 motor vehicle stops conducted with 56 motor vehicle violations issued. They handled 1,014 calls for service. There were 5 motor vehicle accidents handled, and there were 8 arrests for the month of November. I'm happy to report that we received our 2 new patrol vehicles. That'll help us out with our fleet. We're now able to have a detective car that we were without for some time due to transmission being shot on the last one. So it's going to be nice to have a good working fleet. Our recruit, Christopher Worf, is progressing well in the Atlantic County Police Academy. He's just began his 5th week. This past Monday, we held our annual retired officers luncheon. We do a joint luncheon with Edgewater Park, so it's nice to have a luncheon and see a lot of retired guys who gave many years of service to Delanco Township. It's kind of a nice thing that we're able to do for them. We started last year, and we hope to continue to do so. Last week, we held our end-of-year supervisors meeting, and that was to discuss the direction of the police department in 2024. And on the 13th of this month, we'll do our departmental end-of-year meeting, and we'll piggyback on what we spoke about in our supervisors meeting. So that's all I have to report this evening.
Thank you, Adam. John?
How you doing? We're doing real good on leaves. I can never remember us making 5 passes through the town this quickly. The weather had definitely a lot to do with it, and now it's starting to slow down. So, but we're out picking up. We picked up 940 cubic yards of leaves, and that's chipped up leaves. That's a lot of leaves. The tree trimming was done in Newton's Landing. There's a couple of little branches I think that need to be hiked up, and we'll address that. That's no big deal.
Not many?
No.
So
Also, the drainage dishes were cut. And I also went around and checked the sidewalks that Paradise did today, and they all look pretty good. He's going to put mortar mix in the joints. He had to wait till it dried out, and then he's going to run it over with a tamper, and that gets it in, and that interlocks it. And he said hopefully any because I noticed a couple of little trip edges that I wanted to get down, and he said hopefully that should take it down.
good.
But they do look nice.
They do look nice, yeah.
How long they're gonna last?
Depends on how many roots are
Yep.
growing up.
After seeing all those roots that we took away from that tree,
I know,
okay, at Newton's Landing, I cannot imagine the tree roots out there. That
amazing.
was unbelievable in that
That
day.
was-
When he ripped all them out between the curb and underneath of the sidewalk, it was unbelievable, unbelievable.
Yeah, I know. And when they grow in somebody's yard like that, that's when it becomes a real hazard.
Yep.
Because it's grown right to their foundation.
Yep,
Thank you, John.
that's all I have.
I had a question from a resident, messaged me a little while ago, a couple hours ago. When they're doing the leaf pickup, the big tube or whatever that sucks them up, are the guys going out there and raking them between the curb and the sidewalk to get
They
everything?
blow them, they blow them out.
Blow, okay.
Yes, they
All right.
blow them out.
They could take a look on Perkins Lane, because they, I guess, did a pickup today. They were just there with the tube, and everything's still on top of, between the curb and the sidewalk, around the mid-block. I drove by it, it's
Well,
correct.
Some people kind of panic and we clear the street, and next thing you know, you look and somebody's breaking it back out. I can't see my guys missing that. I mean, I got 3 guys on there, I got 2 guys with blowers. So we try to get as much as we can, because I tell the guys, you get them now, so we don't have to worry about them later, because at least, the only leaf you're gonna get from there, so get it.
If you just check that out, that'd be great.
Yes.
Anyone else?
Chief, I had a comment question. The officers, the other night, think it was an ambulance responding to a call on Burlington Avenue down by Lou's. And one of our officers was there, vehicle all lit up and everything, but it was night and rain and everything. And the officer was directing traffic, but he was essentially invisible. With the lights from the ambulance and our vehicles are essentially blinding. And I had slowed way down and was just slowly creeping up on him. And then finally, he was barely 10, 15 feet in front of me before I realized he was standing in the street there. And I was just wondering if they have, you know, flashlight wands or reflective vests with some illumination on
They
it.
should be wearing the traffic vest
Yeah.
and the flashlight.
Right.
But it was a little frightening. And I've seen that there was, down in Riverside, they were doing the same thing. It was, you know, rainy, sloppy night. This was a couple weeks ago. Same thing. An officer down in Riverside, one of theirs, standing out in the street directing traffic. And with the uniforms.
Yeah, that's a policy, so I'll follow up with it.
Yeah. But it's like in the last 2 weeks, I've had 3 of those where, you know, and roads and traffic, it's dangerous enough.
Yeah, if they're wearing the vest and have their flashlight, it shouldn't be an issue, so.
I mean, he might have just popped out of the car and just started, but,
Yeah, I'll look into it.
thank you.
When we were at Trunk or Treat, I had asked them if they had like light wands that we could use to direct traffic, and they said they didn't, and Matt had them from the fire department. Do you remember what those are called? The
Like
orange?
the cones, you mean the cones?
No, they're orange light wands that are, they're LED, red and
Yeah,
white.
It's light ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were,
I mean,
they were
usually the
very
flashlights we provide them are way brighter than.
Yeah, but this is like, it's like this tall and like that thick, and the whole thing is a light, and it was very bright.
Yeah, I can look into it. I'll look into the equipment.
Maybe take a picture.
Come visit us at the firehouse. We'll give you a-
We have a.
Well, you're fire police, so like,
Yeah,
I figured, you know, it goes hand in hand, so.
Janice?
Nothing at this time, thank you.
Okay. All right, consent agenda. Consent agenda items are considered to be routine and will be enacted with a single motion. Any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda. All consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes. Resolution 2023-135, resolution to cancel taxes and refund tax overpayment due to total veterans exemption pursuant to NJSA 54:4-3.30A. Resolution 2023-136, resolution to refund veterans allowance for property taxes and refund tax overpayment. Resolution 2023-137, refund of senior citizen property tax deduction granted for year 2023. Resolution 2023-138, authorizing reimbursement for sidewalk panel replacement under the township's residential sidewalk replacement reimbursement program. Resolution 2023-139, authorizing disposal of out-of-service office equipment. Resolution 2023-140, authorizing one handicap parking space on Ash Street for 526 Ash Street. Resolution 2023-141, refunding unexpended escrow account. Payment of bills, current fund, $735,091.49. Payroll, $147,261.07. Capital, $4,000. Escrow trust, $2,843.50. Approval of minutes for September 18th, 2023. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda item, please?
So moved.
Second.
Carolyn and Fern. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bartlett?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
Ms. Seuss?
Yes.
Mr. Templeton?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzpatrick?
Yes. Correspondence, Janice?
No, just the, I'm sorry, copy of the proposal from the traffic engineer, planning board traffic engineer for a traffic study, and that is on the planning board's agenda for tomorrow. But it is a consideration for township committee as committee approves the budget.
Okay.
Okay? That's it, thank you.
Thank you, Janice. Meeting open to the public for comments and questions, session 2. Okay, there being no comments or questions from the public, I'll close this portion of the meeting to the public. I would like to make a statement regarding Delanco's Christmas tree lighting and a fair that was held on Friday or Saturday night. Our chairman of our Recreation Commission is here, Phil McFadden. He attends every meeting, and he should receive a great round of applause for spearheading that event. It was a wonderful event. It was very well attended, and the park looks beautiful. They did have a subcommittee of Alyssa De La Penta, Amber Perlmutter, and Al Bravo, and it was, they worked on it. Carolyn and I did some things on it. It really takes a village to do that, I can tell you, because there were a lot of hands putting that whole thing together, and the vendors were nice to have them there too. But I just wanted to acknowledge Phil, because without him, there wouldn't be any lights up there. But anyway, thank you, Phil, for everything you do for us. We certainly do appreciate it. So I'll move on to discussion items. Connector Trail pathway to County Trail System at Newton's Landing. I do want to let you know that I reached out to Mary Pat again this morning because she hasn't answered my question, to clarify what her answer was, because I did tell her that I need some clarification to indicate that the county would not contribute to the improvements to this. I also said that the HOA would be at my meeting tonight asking about this. It would be a discussion item, so I'd like to know whether or not we should just go to the freeholder board or the commissioners. And I also let her know that you had indicated to me that the public does go through Newton's Landing and uses those pathways. And I thought it was for a development of 250 homes, for them to have to use a handicap access at the crossings or at Living Springs was a bit out of the way. Did not hear from her, so I did check the commissioner's schedule. They have a meeting on December 13th and also one on December 18th. If you plan to go, of course the 18th I'll be here. No, it's the 27th. Wednesday the 13th and Wednesday the 27th of December. So I'm not sure when you plan on attending. If you would let me know, because I'd like to try and fit it in my schedule as well. But I guess that's the next step, because I don't feel that the township should have to put that money out unless there were contributing entities. The county really should do it. I mean, they're putting millions of dollars into this trail. A few $1,000s is not going to break the bank. But, so let me know when you want to do that. That's the discussion item. That's what
Is it normal for her to just not respond?
I don't know. That's the third email I haven't had a response from. And I didn't get a vacation notice. On one, I did get a vacation notice. The very first one, but she did respond to that. So, I don't know.
Are we taking the approach of new work or maintenance work that needs to be done?
Both paths need to be repaired, and they need to be made handicap accessible. And the one between 47 and 49 totally needs to be redone, and the piping needs to be eliminated or cut down so that it can be handicap accessible. So it's not, we don't have the plan because the plan is $3,000, and I don't feel that the township should pay the bill. The HOA did not want to contribute. The county, the first email I got from Mary Pat was that she didn't feel that the county would be paying it because it was a private development. So that's where we are. So the only way that we're going to find an answer is to go to the commissioners. But it's not a new path. It's actually correcting the path, correcting one and improving the other. They both need improvements.
But they're owned by the county.
They're owned by the county.
Okay.
Yeah. And they clarified that at the meeting that we had here. Yeah.
The county will be spending millions of dollars to put additional path in to connect to other parks.
Right.
side of 130.
But even if we had the funding, we'd have to get permission from them to do anything there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
they could be a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on, 2024 Township Committee Meeting Schedule. Did everybody have a chance to look at that, to see? Our reorganization meeting will be on Wednesday, January 3rd. Janice does a great job with this calendar. She does the work sessions that we usually do for the budget.
Isn't there usually more than 3?
January,
suggest we add
February,
one.
there's 2 in March, I think.
There's one in March.
One.
12.
There's 2 in March.
Oh, no, that's 29th,
One.
that's a holiday.
I know it's a holiday.
Oh, okay.
The handwritten circles are the work session.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd suggest we add March 26th as a potential. We've done it with only 3 in the past.
Yes.
But, so we do is the 23rd is when we get the general presentation of what's been submitted, and we ask the, John and Adam to come to go through their budgets. So you see the total on the 27th. By then we'll have the auditor there. We'll have the information from the financial statement. We can get an idea what the tax impact is. And then if we meet on the 12th, hopefully we'll have something that we can work with where we can introduce it at the meeting, our meeting of the 18th. But if that doesn't work, then we can meet on the 26th and introduce the budget on April 1st.
And usually we have the other entities come on the 19th?
Right, no, the other entities will come February 26th,
Oh, the 26th.
right, the last meeting in
That's right, the
February.
19th is a holiday.
So I'd suggest that we add March 26th, a budget meeting. Is 3:30 on Tuesday still okay with everybody?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay?
It's good for me. Anyone have any other questions? July, we usually have one meeting, but I see Janice says question mark. July.
That's up to you. If you want to just go with the one, maybe just the 15th, that's up to you. This will come, excuse me, I have a terrible fog in my throat tonight. What I'll do for the meeting on the 18th is put it back on the agenda and just ask you to confirm and authorize its publication.
Okay.
So you have a little bit more time to be able to work on this. So if you want to think about July, maybe just something on the 15th, whatever you want.
Probably keep the July 1st and get rid of the one the week before on June 24th. Because we normally do the 1st and 3rd, we shifted it to the second Monday of June because of Election Day, primaries. It would be the 4th, so we have the room closed on the 3rd. So I'd probably
I would
86
do-
to 24th.
Where's this?
22nd, and not the 15th.
For what
We
month?
have the 15th to the 5th.
I think, talking June 24th,
Yeah, I would do the 15th.
Right.
July 1st.
Right.
Question.
I would leave it as is and cancel the meeting if we don't have anything. How's that? That's what we did before, didn't we, Janice?
Yeah, if you don't have any business, you can cancel a meeting, sure.
Or take out the first
Notice November, there's only
Yes,
one meeting
it was in there.
because of the,
election, yeah.
between Election Day and Veterans Day, it's on a Monday.
Right.
We only have one meeting in November.
So I would just suggest that if you have any direct changes you want to make, email them to Janice so she has everything available for our December 18th meeting.
Okay.
That meeting, the actual business meeting, Matt has another meeting that night, but we'd like to get through our meeting first so he can attend another meeting. So, let's do that. Everybody email any changes you want to Janice and she can put them in the next packet for us.
My week of vacation in August is good in here, so that's the important part for me.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions? Anything else before the township committee? Okay, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
What's that?
We're adjourned.
Freaking here.
Next week.